Hello, salutations, what to do? It's Sadot the Gamer, all father Durag gang. None of us like a scribe, let's get it. And we are back once again for the the Aftershow Podcast. I am your host, Sadot the Gamer, joined by my other host, not Casual Avenger. Actually, maybe Casual Avenger. Ooh,
yes, I may be Casual Avenger.
No, he's definitely not Casual Avenger. That is definitely Nezuko. And the real Casual Avenger is possibly coming through. So we might have the whole squad together. But on my
god
left, we have my culturally appropriating co-host back from Pax East, JayShockblast. What up?
I spent more time in traffic today than I did at Pax East.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on today, but like we hit Fenway Park, and from Fenway Park to the convention center, it's maybe 4 miles. It took me about 35 minutes to get to Fenway, which is about 37 miles from my house. So about a mile a minute. It took me over 45 minutes to go that last 3 to 4 miles from Fenway Park to the convention center. That sucked.
Wow. Pax East, more like Packed East, am I right?
Yeah. They had that
Thank you.
Did you see that picture I tweeted earlier?
I don't read your tweets, Jay.
Sandland.
Yeah, Akira Toriyama's his final game.
All right, let's go ahead and just get this right out the way. Share screen. You're actually probably gonna like this.
Yeah, I remember your tweet and I was immediately offended.
There's a playable demo. Yeah, because I said, "Are we excited for Sandland? Is this where I fight Luffy?"
It's Luffy, sir.
Yes, that's part of the joke. So, as you can see, there's this actual tank, and you go in the tank and play the demo.
Ooh.
Not gonna lie, kind of sick.
I mean, nothing but the best for Toriyama Sensei.
Also, yes, this was my traffic. So that sucked. Shout out to my boy DJ Chrome. It's his birthday.
I don't care.
Yes. And
shout out to DJ Chrome.
I met Hoarder Gamer. Shout out to Hoarder Gamer.
Hoarder. Yeah. Jay is meeting all of the people.
I played Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Actually awesome.
And even more important than Jay's Pax East flexing, Casual Avengers here.
Yo, Uncaged Games 1 stream stars. And welcome, Casual Avenger. This is great.
What's up?
Yeah, sounds like you're in traffic.
almost got mind flayed.
As you should have.
And I met Pikachu. I met Fuecoco, Sprigatito, and Quaxley. And
there was a power-up booth?
Right. So anyway, that's that.
We got Casual Avenger back again. How you doing, my friend?
Finally found some time to get in front of this setup and chat with you, good gentlemen.
We appreciate it. It's been a little bright, if you catch my meaning, the last couple of weeks. Not a lot of saturation, if you will, in the on the co-host that third chair. So happy to have you here, brother. Casual.
Yo, wow. What's good, Jay? See you having fun at Pax East over the weekend?
I mean, it is the weekend now. It was during the week.
Right. Oh, yeah, so it's over. Hey, give me a minute. Hey. I'm still catching up.
I'm great. It's great that you're here. I'm glad to see you.
Don't ever correct casual again. We also got to say what's up to the chat. Looks like Eastwood was first. Welcome back, Eastwood. Always happy to have you back. Sorry things are going either bad or okay. Whichever it is, hope you're doing okay. What's up, Mikey? Cap Tay, last of understanding. You were too slow, my friend. Better luck next week. Lick Man, what's up? What's up? What's up, Digital Program, Divine Shine. Appreciate all y'all comic book burrito. Thank you for hanging out on this Friday night. And you picked the right time because the gang's all here. The the original crew, no guest hosts. It's just the OG Big Three. And we are very excited because this is a great week to have all of us weighing in because we've got a little bit of everything happening in our little world. We had the brand new trailer for Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra that's got all the people talking. We got after Lejeune did some ranting on social media. He literally summoned the forces of the WB marketing team, and they delivered some actual Suicide Squad marketing, and there is a lot of that to break down. So we'll go into that. Get your thoughts there. And it wouldn't be a week without controversy. We of course too many to name, but in the gaming world, we just had Dragon's Dogma 2 drop. I was fortunate enough to get early access to that for my review. I've been playing that for the last week, and damn right. And we got some controversy because Dragon's Dogma 2 went from a Game of the Year contender to microtransaction live service nonsense complaints. You know, it's sitting at well, it's got a high Metacritic. We'll get into that, but a lot of negative reviews poured in because they revealed some microtransactions. They accidentally left that out of the marketing, and people who bought the game, who had the game and got it at launch, were surprised to notice some microtransaction options. Now they sent us the full list of this, us VIPs beforehand, so we knew what the DLC was. It just wasn't live in the game while we were playing it. But we'll get into all that because it's divided the fan base. You have some people defending it, some people that are, of course, mad and say blah blah blah, microtransactions bad, whatever. So we'll get into all that. But first, we'll get into JayShockblast's favorite game of all time, which is, of course, Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League, a game that has paid him very well to support.
I wish.
They in response to Lejeune dunking on them on Twitter, as well as Miller, they dropped a roadmap of season 1, along with a giant blog that is actually currently down. I gotta check and see if it's back up, but it is a blog full of patch notes. So this Tuesday, they're going to get the new patch, which hopefully fixes all the stuff. And there's going to be a bunch of balancing changes, and that's going to contain the season 1 patch, which will go live on that Thursday. But they gave us a little look.
Patch goes live on Tuesday.
I'm talking about the season 1.
Oh,
so,
gotcha.
Yeah,
My bad.
The patch that contains season 1 will be a Tuesday, so Miller will be busy data mining that. And then on Thursday, they're going to flip the switch, and the actual content side is going to be live, but the fixes and change and all that should be live on Tuesday. So there was a lot of negativity the last couple of weeks. So Casual Avenger, you've been absorbing this on the sidelines. What do you think of this? Is this the Suicide Squad redemption? What's happening?
Honestly, it's hard to say because, landing, a stick in the landing, at launch for especially, live service games like this is so important. And with so many people being locked out of like early access and, multiplayer issues and things like that, they lost a large portion of the player base just from those issues alone. And some people have moved on and aren't really looking back. But someone objectively who isn't really, like this isn't my kind of game. Like it never really pulled me in. Like I got to play the early access and everything, and it never really grabbed me. On top of just not wanting to deal with the constant live service, bad hate crowd, endlessly and stuff. So it's like I haven't, I'm not really on the bandwagon for Suicide Squad, but objectively, it's an amazing looking game, and everything they've shown for Joker looks fun. So it's like if I was going to pick up Suicide Squad, Joker would be a strong motivator to do it. So it's like if it's kind of getting me, I can give it some praise just on how it looks from early footage. I'm pretty sure some people who kind of turned their back on the game may come back, but it's hard to say how much of that early crowd that they lost, due to kind of stumbling through the starting gate, are they going to be able to bring back, with some of these new changes? Because the game, from the start had a lot of positives in terms of how they were handling the shooter side of things. And, a lot of the things we were hoping for with games like Avengers, they had ready right out of the gate. So you got join in progress, you got, a way to change your loot and all of this stuff. And it's like, if you're willing to give them some time, I'm pretty sure they can right the ship. So hopefully this is a major step in the right direction for the team.
I just thought,
speaking of Avengers flashbacks,
this is too funny not to share. I wanted to go through the blog and look at the patch notes. This is perfect. This is a deep cut Avengers reference. I respect that Rocksteady are students of the game. So Jay, what do you think of all this? You've been very critical, despite being on the WB payroll. So what are your thoughts of this new reveal?
I just really hope everything works. I hope that patch comes out Tuesday, and I just hope it works. For them, for us. I mean, it sucks because I feel like my big issue right now is, a lot of us, we kind of we genuinely enjoy playing this game
for sure, and
we have we've made that clear in our pre-launch, post-launch content, and in ways it was already a game that was a little divisive because the weirdo Arkham kids and not Batman, so that was already a little bit of a struggle, but we still put our reputations out there, because when it does work, God, Avengers flashbacks. When I just, it is really baffling the way things have played out. And I feel like that's the part that frustrates me the most, is how just even worse than Avengers, if we're being honest.
It's like we're stuck in a time loop.
Yeah, they were beyond radio silent, and I don't want to hear about they're just back there cooking. The people that get to talk and write these blogs, they're not cooking anything. Their job is to write the blogs and to make the PR content. You know what I mean? So I really hope that when that worked, it was a beefy list of stuff that needed to be fixed. It sucks that we got to this point, but if that legitimately and truly solves all the problems, and we're just back to playing the game and being able to jump in with friends, then great. Let's hopefully build that momentum back up. I know it's going to be tough, but I'm excited. I'm very excited. I'm excited for Tuesday. I'm excited for Thursday. And I just really, really, really hope that everything works, because if it does not, I've never been this game isn't going to make it person. But if they flop on Joker, it's over. It's just, I have no faith,
Oof, you heard from Jay, dead game. if they don't deliver.
Because what people are going to come back to Mrs. Freeze?
I mean, yeah, probably not.
to lawless. You know, like those characters are not like I am imploring them. I know Miller has said based on things he's heard narratively, it's not going to be easy. But I'm sorry, I am imploring them, figure it out, push up Deathstroke, okay? Maybe then you do one of the two, and then get somebody else in there and push one of them back. You need Joker to hit right now, and then you need Deathstroke because Deathstroke will bring people here. If you wait until October for Deathstroke, it may never happen. Like just point blank, you know. And they've got to figure. I maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll be wrong. I hope so. If they stick to the plan, but I just you know, I don't know.
I mean, it won't truly be a Marvel's Avengers, spiritual successor if, when this patch goes live, they don't break a ton of stuff. So if the new stuff doesn't break the old stuff, like, is it truly, the new Avengers?
But that's like any game, you know what I mean? Like, and it sucks. Like, I feel really bad for them because, like, granted, like they haven't handled everything like perfectly, but I know for a fact that like the biggest issue that they were having where like people couldn't log in was an absolute like bomb dropped on them. Shut up, Tay. It was something that they were never going to find until it hit the live environment. Like it just wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, and it's like I feel like we far removed ourselves from the time where gamers, people who actually like and enjoy playing video games, were understanding, a little understanding that not everything goes smoothly at launch, especially with how advanced gaming is becoming, networking issues and things like that. So it's like testing things on a small network with a handful of people on the server versus millions of people across the globe playing on that same system. It's like, hey, stuff can go wrong. Communicate, hey, we're working on it, we're fixing it. That should be enough. But it's like with the radio silence and then players' overreaction to every single thing, gaming in general is like it's a wild time to be, a developer, a gamer, everything in between.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. It's it's been quite crazy. It was interesting to see how everyone kind of has been reacting because, like, I've heard very bad things, but there was a spark of something when the game launched. Like, not every game, for example, when it launches, has over 100,000 viewers on Twitch. So there's obviously interest in the game, and there are a lot of people who have fun with it. But regardless of whether or not people love the content, I think the more important thing is it just works, because I feel like people are going to have fun with Joker. Mrs. Freeze probably will be fun. Her combat sounds fun, at least intertraversal. But if it actually works, if they don't have to worry about fixing a bunch of stuff, I think having regular content drops, every 6 weeks, and having the base game bolstered by another character and more stuff to do, plus all these balancing changes, could go a very long way towards bringing people back. Now, definitely they could use some bigger names people, but we know they're not going to have Peacemaker ready, so it really doesn't matter. So
no, I get it.
So ultimately they need to, even if they stick to the schedule, Deathstroke is like December, I think.
Like, that's gonna be tough because Deathstroke gets people in the door now. I would rather them make the story not make sense, but put him out with his content, and then if they need extra time to rearrange the rest, do that. Because But what
Joker,
do I know?
Joker does get people in the door, though. So
I agree.
If he does, so if it works, because you're going to have people in the door, like there are going to be people who legitimately have just been waiting for content. There have been people who have been waiting to buy the game when it was on sale, like it is now, and when we're closer to season 1. There are going to be people watching because they're curious. All eyes are going to be on the game when the 28 hits. If it works and it's good, that will go a long way. It'll bring new people in. It'll keep the people who have been, staying, or on the fence, and then they can build that momentum and goodwill going into episode 2 and then into season 2. So even if you're not thrilled with a gender swap Mr. Freeze, at least based on season 1, hey, maybe the playable character's not for me, but maybe they'll probably be very fun, even if I don't personally love the character choice.
Yeah,
there's new content. It's fun to do. Maybe they'll have PvP out by then. So there's going to be at least that momentum, even if you're not bringing in the Deathstroke fans, but at the very least, if they do what they're supposed to do and everything goes well, you're not going to lose more people, and you're going to keep the gains that you potentially got from Joker. So I think that's their best case scenario and what they need to look forward to, because this is not going to be Helldivers. It's just not. It's not going to be a huge game. But if they can build some momentum and keep it by being consistent with the content, not having any bugs, this could chug along. At the very least, finish all the seasons.
Yeah, I feel like I know live service games are still fairly new, but I feel like you have examples of game studios who have gotten certain aspects of that right. Midnight Suns, I know that's a very niche game, but it's like their content rollout post launch was seamless. Like they knew exactly who was coming. All of that stuff was ready. It wasn't a delay. It wasn't we'll have to see how the game performs. No, the game in the season pass was ready to go at launch, and then you have story content, new characters, new attacks, all of this stuff ready to go. And I feel like that kind of stuff needs to be a part of the early development process. So we know where we want to go post game. We know where we want to go with post content. And this stuff isn't taking 4, 5, and 6 months to get to the next release. And it's like a lot of studios are still struggling with that and struggling with balancing that. And I think another part of that issue is they're trying to play the long game. So it's like, hey, we want to be around for a couple years. So, hey, we'll start you off with Joker, get some momentum going, and then hey, here's a few lesser known characters, and we hope you stick with us until we get to the next big release. But we're just trying to, keep dangling a carrot in front of you. And it's like, I understand the dilemma, because it's like you don't want to give everything up front, because if you give everything, so we give Joker, Deathstroke, Peacemaker, and then all we have left is these lesser characters. It's like, what do we do? And it's like, I get it, but it's like there has to be a better balance between that. And as Jay stressed, it has to work. Like, as fun as your game looks, as much as people want to play it, if it doesn't work, what are we left with? So it's like, I'm definitely hoping they can get this, rolling and hit the ground running on Tuesday and Thursday, just to really have some positive vibes and momentum going into that next big update, to where we can trust that what you're doing, and this stuff will work on launch for everybody, because that's been one of the major issues for the game. And again, I'm just an outsider looking in, listening to complaints and criticisms
mostly Jay.
But so that's how you're trying to get us canceled.
People have, genuinely enjoyed the game when they could play it, or when it worked, as intended. So,
I think my criticism is pretty fair. I mean, I see both sides, and I do agree. Like, I do think there's a place for Lawless and Mrs. Freeze. But I don't think they should have done them back to back right out the gate. That's my big thing.
Yeah, that was definitely mistakes were definitely made. I would.
Yeah, I think they overestimated like how people would vibe with that, like
the game overall.
yeah. Yeah. And like it is fitting to the game, the Elseworlds, right? Like that makes sense. It makes sense that they would do that. I just don't think they should have done 2 out of the first 4 and definitely 2 out of the first 3. You know, I do feel like Joker is a great choice to go out first. I think I don't look he definitely looks different, but I don't understand how people are like, you know, losing their minds over how he looks. I think he looks fine, you know. Like he looks like a younger version of the Joker. He looks like he's actually straight out of the Telltale Batman game.
Yeah. And looks a little bit like the Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of that Jared Leto look.
Little Leto.
He looks like an Elseworld Joker, so it's not the Joker you're accustomed to. It's a Joker from another world. So, yeah.
And I like the performance. I've heard some real cool stuff. He's got some the actor's got some nice range. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the character kit, of course. You know, that's going to be the big thing. They showed a little bit of you know, some of the gameplay stuff we can expect, some of the gear. Didn't go to too much detail, which I was hoping they would, but now that we're about to hit the weekend, no blog day, obviously it looks like it's because of technical issues. It looks like this is going to be the extent of the marketing until Tuesday, which is crazy.
Yeah, which is what Tariq is saying right now, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, man. I think that they're kind of counting on us in a way. Like, all right, we're back. You're back. We're back. Let's get to Tuesday.
I mean, we can only do so much. Like, we don't even know what the gear does. Like, they're showing these new weapons.
Yeah.
They're showing all this new. Oh, look at this gear. We got Scarecrow. We got Reverse Flash. What does it do? You'll find out.
Yeah.
Like,
but I think that's one of the points that I made. And I made a big tweet like this week where I really and truly feel like part of what's hurting them right now is that there are people like you, people like me, and people like Lejeune, and like the big streamers of this game, you know, even Caboose. Like, we're not covering the game right now. We're not streaming the game. When people log on to Suicide Squad right now, you talked about 100,000 people watching the first week. There's 110 people watching right now. And you're going to be logging in, and nothing against any of these people, but like once Lejeune logs off, I've seen I don't know enough about Mr. Soldier Man, but I will say I know he's been at the top of the charts like pretty much throughout, and I've watched him a little bit and he seems like he's pretty good. But like I don't know who, like I've never heard of anybody else here. You know what I mean?
I mean, they even had Shroud streaming this game on early access.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now it's once the content dried up, there was no more drops because you know they had to internally push back season 1 to start to deal with all the technical problems. So as a content creator, there's not been much to talk about, especially since they literally just haven't been marketing the game. And like I finally made a video about it today because I mean we finally got some stuff. Like we didn't get the blog, you know, but we got the patch notes, we got a new trailer, you know. That's all great, but you know, before launch we had dev Q&As, we had different blogs showing off different builds and gear. We, you know, they would reach out to people on Twitter, respond, request feedback. Like it's like a completely different team.
I will say Axel liked one of my tweets today, and he hasn't done that in a little bit, so we'll see.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I understand it's definitely hard being front facing, especially when your game's not doing well, but that's the test. I mean it's anyone can be happy-go-lucky talking to the community when you're riding a little bit of momentum, you know, relatively speaking, in the case of Suicide Squad. But when things are going wrong, that's the time when you dig in. And and stick through it and keep pushing and promote your game, not disappear. like that's never the answer. That's always going to make things worse.
Yeah, and that's something we just continue to see from different developers and studios over and over again. So it's like it's either overly positive and interacting with content creators who are overly positive, and the second we hit a bump in the road, put our head in the dirt, fall back to the shadows, and those creators who were out front saying like, "Oh, this is great," and I'm so excited, they're left to deal with the animosity from this crowd, and it's like. I mean, it's just your job. It's like I don't understand why you would take so much of this stuff personal, like unless it's like directly targeted attacks or people DMing you certain stuff. But even then, it's like I don't care, or I personally wouldn't care. But it's like, yeah, we're different people. I get that. But yeah, it's like you have to, this in an age of TikTok and social media and personalities and stuff. People are constantly looking for somebody drumming up hype and something to be excited for, especially with video games. And it's like that's literally one of the easiest things you could do as a social media manager. It's like, hey, get us some images. Let's show off a couple skins like those dev streams they used to do for Avengers. That stuff always over amazing because it's like people just want to see what you got going on. Like, what are we getting? What are you bringing? Hey, here's what we're doing. Let's have such and such talk about it for a few minutes. All right, guys, that's a wrap until next time. And it's like people were good. Your creators have something to talk about. The fans have something to talk about. And you can work on whatever is coming next. Maybe they need a creator Discord with exclusive skin access. And
oh no,
and only white people.
Oh,
that was an inside joke.
One black. You got to have one black guy.
All right.
That's how they did it.
Breaking news.
And don't forget
breaking news.
2 people credibly accused of sexual assault.
Breaking news. Velma season 2 releases April 25th. Only on Max.
Oh goody.
You're welcome.
I will be playing a video game on April 25th. I will be nowhere near Velma.
I'll be smelling my TV screen playing Stellar Blade, so I'm not going to be.
Thought you were going to say smelling your TV screen, smelling Velma.
No. Yeah, I didn't watch season 1. I knew from that trailer it was exactly what it was going to be, so I was like, no, thank you. I watched the pitch meeting instead. Much funnier than the show, I'm sure.
Yeah,
and I'll be passing on season 2 as well. Thank you for reminding me, Steven. I asked Miller. I actually just asked this to Miller. This almost became a meme. Like I feel like everyone was quote tweeting them and saying, "What are strongholds?" Because they won't tell us. I think that's kind of a larger thing of like they're giving us as little information about this as possible, and that's definitely just not understanding the gravity of the situation. like you need to promote this game as much as possible and not telling people what's basic stuff is definitely not helping. Did they tell you what strongholds are?
Nope. I have no idea.
Like it can't be the PvP mode.
They actually told me about it. One of the devs reached out to me, but I can't tell you guys unless you pay a small one-time fee. So,
is it as much as the Dragon's Dogma 2 DLC? for $4.99 $4.99 to be allowed to DM casual. $2.99 per reply.
We have competitive rates. I'll say that. Yeah, like I said, ultimately, I'm hoping they can figure this stuff out. Turn things around because it's like I was about to say nobody wants to hate the game, but clearly there are tons of people who want to hate the game and continue to hate the game.
Much so.
But
I mean, that's their whole identity. What would they do without it?
But yeah, it's like, Joker's flying and sliding around on the umbrella and beating people with bats and stuff. It looks fun, I guess. So it's like I don't see why anyone should want that to fail. And yes, communication could be better. Hopefully, that's something they can improve on.
It's
in the
because
future.
it's because of Sweet Baby Casual. It has to fail for the culture.
Hey. Are they kind of transitioning from one community manager to another one? Because that was a thing with Avengers. So when Andy left, it was a bit of a void there with communication.
As far as I know, Derek is still there. I don't know who else is on the team.
Because did WB do any major layoffs?
Not that I've seen. No.
Surprisingly, no. Yeah. Pretty much the only places I haven't heard layoffs was, funny enough, Capcom. Just Japan in general. They're raising the salaries. In fact, but yeah, WB, they haven't announced any layoffs. In fact, Rocksteady throughout all of this have been hiring new people. Just the other day, I saw Rocksteady drop a retweet saying, "Hey, we're hiring." So, whatever's going on, it's not enough to stop them from hiring, but it just makes you wonder because what is exactly going on? Like you're hearing stuff about they're panicking. The game fell short of expectations. It's obviously no Hogwarts Legacy, but they still haven't released the sales figures. We know it's pretty much mainly been selling on PlayStation. If you look at the charts, it was number one most pre-ordered on PlayStation. It was top 3 downloads on PlayStation the month of February. It's pretty much fallen off a cliff everywhere else that is available, but it's at least struck a chord there. So
from what I understand, they did a bulk of their sales digitally on PlayStation, and it's kind of definitely fallen off from there.
Well, the only metrics that actually matter are the Steam chart numbers. So.
That is true.
That's a fact. No one plays anywhere else except Steam.
I'm performing surgery on my phone right now, and I'm really sorry, but I'm very distracted.
You're not
Aftershow
Dr. Shocker.
Yeah. I had this protective thing over the camera and like a covering it, and it I dropped it once and it shattered, and now I can't get the piece off. It's literally it's part of the phone now.
Did you try twisting it?
No, it literally is you can kind of see how it's all cracked, and it will not come off.
Interesting.
So I'm using a screwdriver.
What kind of screwdriver is that?
Flathead.
I don't care.
Yeah. Well, you asked. I'm basically breaking it off piece by piece.
Now one of the big fixes that they mentioned in that very long list of bug fixes, I believe Miller said 171 in total on that blog that is currently down because of a site bug, ironically. But one of the first things I checked for was that mastery solution, the mastery progression. A certain person on this panel that's not me is being affected by this bug. He has not been able to increase his mastery level this whole time. I know High Ruler who was on. He's been having the same problem. He basically said he's uninstalling if it's not fixed.
Yeah.
So that's a good sign. Well, it's good that it's there, but at the end of the day, it has to actually work.
I tried using you the other day to increase my mastery. It did not work.
Did not. I carried him through 134 and everything. He still stuck on 49.
Yeah, literally carried me because I couldn't do shit.
But at least we could play multiplayer.
Yes. So that's encouraging. That's why I'm encouraged. And I think that's what I miss the most. I feel like you can play the game by yourself and it's fun. but like playing with friends is way more fun, you know?
Yeah, that's definitely, and I think that's definitely what's been carrying a lot of the Helldivers fun because
Right.
I could play that solo too, but I never do it because I can always find a game, and it's
And
always
find a racist.
and so occasionally you find a white supremacist.
Occasionally get called a naysayer.
Yeah, but you can still always find a game, and it's much more fun playing with other people, especially if you're actually friends with those people, and if you're a content creator, you love playing these multiplayer games with your community.
Exactly.
And not being able to do that is just really annoying because they want to play, they're used to it, and if not, they're just kind of watching you play. And then in the case of Suicide Squad, there's not much to do anyway, so they're just watching you farm levels on the encourager missions, hopefully trying to get gear. Is like I would rather play some of these new updates coming, like that new Brainiac boss fight, which is for episode 1 of season 1. It's the reskin Green Lantern fight, which I think was my favorite of the boss fights in the campaign. I didn't think any of them were particularly good, but that one that and Superman I say were the better ones for me. I feel like the build up to the Batman encounters were really good, but that actual Batman fight was pretty terrible. So
yeah,
I know it's probably asking too much, but hopefully in the future we get a little more creative with the boss fights. I mean, like
I don't think that's asking too much.
Like, imagine if in Avengers, as much as we complain about Avengers being repetitive, imagine if instead of fighting Taskmaster and Abomination, it was just Monica using the Terrigen to imitate Taskmaster and Abomination.
Yeah. That is a valid complaint. I do feel like we already knew this was going to be the case. So like I feel like some people are acting surprised like when they see this, and it's like, why? They made it clear this is what it was going to be.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of people don't pay attention to anything going on with Suicide.
I was literally having that conversation with someone today who works PR side on this game. I'm like, the problem is that like, because we're talking about how a lot of marketing doesn't understand or appreciate influencers yet. Like what we do essentially, and how they still believe that traditional media is the way to go. And I'm like,
as Kotaku is literally burning down to the ground.
Right. Like there are still a lot of marketing people, not just WB, but like across the board. I've had this experience, and I've had this conversation with other people that believe that traditional media is the only way to really make a mark in the game. And I said, dude, how many kids in high school right now do you think could name more than 2 like writers at any of these websites? Okay. Like I guarantee you, for every kid that comes out and talks about that says Paul Tassi or Jason Schreier, there's going to be 20 to 30 streamers, TikTokers, influencers that they talk about. That's what they watch. They want to watch 60-second videos, or they want to watch people play the game. They don't want to read 1,000-word articles or reviews.
They want to read it all.
Right. So I get the battle that they have, like the influencer manager type people, which are the people that we typically are going to work with, I mean, listen, that's nothing against Jason Schreier or Paul Tassi. I think they do. I mean, first of all, I think they're like at the top of the food chain.
The top, the tippity top.
Yeah, those are like 2 of the top people. But like that just makes the point even more, because like there are people that have no idea who they are. You know what I mean? And like, and listen, I'm not saying like, the 3 of us, we're doing what we can. You know, like there are definitely people out there that value us.
You can say it, Jay. You're a big shot.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but like there are people that feel like they value what we have to say more than anything. You know what I mean? And I just feel like more people need to see that, like in the traditional media world. And I don't know. I've made my point. You agree?
I completely disagree.
Yeah.
Content creators are a menace, and we need to go back to newspapers, good old fashioned black and white print newspapers, and billboards. That's how you get the word out there about your game.
Billboards.
Buy a billboard.
Don't get me wrong. Being able to like throw up one of those Times Square ads, kind of cool. And it's not always just the point of like the people in Times Square seeing it. It's the, hey, look, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, the Times Square billboard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think a big part of it is traditional media is still, able to be controlled to a certain degree. So, you get on the horn with, Paul Tassie's editor or, producer boss, you can rein him in a bit, to a degree versus
this is the wildest take of the year.
Do you really think Paul Tassie is reined in?
I'm just saying, like, he seems like he has, pretty, he's also trying to be a professional. So it's like there's going to be a certain level of professionalism that he displays no matter what he's writing, no matter what his stance is. And that he's going to, back up what he's saying. If he's making wild or outlandish claims, he'll let you know if he's just speculating about something or what his personal opinion is.
Right.
Where with content creators, it's the Wild West out there. So it's like you have people like, not to bring them up negatively, but like a Kyle who can make a whole campaign, a negative campaign against the game.
Oh my God, he wasn't here last week.
Mainly nothing, based mainly on nothing. Yet we'll have massive success, and it's like this is something you have to combat as a marketing, manager or whatever.
Casual, would you like me to ruin your life right now? When was the last time you looked at his channel?
Never in my life.
Okay, I don't believe you. I would like to ruin your life right now the way that Sadot ruined mine. Look at his channel right now.
All right. Let's see what we got.
You're going to be pleasantly surprised.
It's like, I'm used to it. And again, it's like just bringing him up as an example because, he's a content creator.
I understand. I had written him off. I hadn't thought of Voldemort. And then Sadot had to bring it up.
I'm seeing a lot of Spider-Man 2 videos.
You seeing him in a race with Sadot for 100K?
Nope. Let me see. Something about woke.
That's how he did it.
Yeah,
he's tapped into the woke market.
He has.
Okay. I see. The subscribe account. I'm looking at the
become the final boss grifter. Like,
yeah, and it's like that's what I'm saying. It's like
I know I'm agreeing with you. I just wanted to ruin your life a little.
He's barred from them, so it's like he's nobody's giving him any exclusive access to these games, and it's like he made a lane for himself.
Unless Brian Wagner goes independent, makes his own game.
he probably secretly one of his fans at this point. It's like he on the wrong side of the industry.
That is actually a fair point.
But it's like, so that like even you're an example of somebody who's not getting the opportunities you arguably should, but you're still making a lane for yourself in the creator space while using the news surrounding these games and things like that. So you're having massive success while not having exclusive access to a lot of these, games and content releases and things like that. They're not flying you out like they should. You got on fire with the Spider-Man updates and exclusive access to stuff, which again, congrats on. But you have to work for that. You have to pave your own way to get that.
And I definitely didn't get flown out for Spider-Man, but you know what I didn't do? Complain about other content creators on social media getting opportunities, unlike some other people.
Listen, I dropped Sadot's name at least 5 times in conversation today. Like, people know who he is. It's it's a process, you know, and like there's a lot. I think Sadot brings up a good point too. Like there's a lot of people that like they think, oh, me, you know, it should have been me, but you never say that part out loud, like ever. Like that's just, you don't realize. I don't think people realize how many people are watching that you just don't even realize it. You know, I feel like I'm constantly given reminders of how that's the case. Today, I was told that there have been phone calls about some of my tweets. So like you just never know who's watching, and it's like one of those things where
Eastwood's son's watching, you know, you never you never
yeah
know.
yeah, so like I don't know, man. It's eye-opening sometimes, but
I would love to have been in a room when someone made a phone call. It was like, hey, did you see the JayShockblast tweets?
I know, right? that one was like, oh shoot, okay, all right, back to being good. I have been pretty good lately, though.
But
he's been a very good boy, I say.
Yeah,
it's like ultimately, you know, they want to stay in a lane where it's safe and controlled.
Yep.
And you know, there are a lot of unknown variables with, you know, content creators. So it's like,
there's some very shitty ones.
People leak stuff early for clout. So it's like, just to have that, you know, you break an NDA about stuff. It's wild out there, and it's like, you know, every, you know, bad egg is just an example of, see, this is why we can't use those guys and this, that, and the other. And it's like, because you're reluctant to do it anyway. You don't want to, you know, break away from what you know,
Exactly.
even though, as I keep giving examples, people are having wild success without that access. So imagine what they would be doing with exclusive access to
right.
things. So it's like, hey, I'm you know, world exclusive footage of, you know, Hogwarts Legacy or whatever it is on a channel that's already doing massive numbers without that access. So it's like, it's opportunity there. It's just, you know, getting with the right people and, you know, just making it work with the intention of, you know, making a beneficial relationship on both sides.
Exactly. Like our friend Cammie work, you know, she's been working in influencer marketing for years, and she's always telling us how much she has to fight with her bosses and her marketing team to get them to understand how important influencer marketing is.
Yeah, she's definitely one of the people I was thinking of as I was sharing some of these like stories, you know what I mean? Like she's absolutely one of those people that's like, they just don't get it, you know? So I mean, as time keeps going on, it has gotten better. It is getting better, but
I mean, if any more news outlets go under, I mean, they're not going to have a choice but to start looking more into content creation. But yeah, it's definitely improved by leaps and bounds. I think there's a lot of room to improve. Like imagine if they sent JayShockblast a build early and let him play some Joker, you know, for a little bit, you know.
Yeah. Imagine
like a beta just for Jay, you know, or and some other content creators, you know that could that could help get the word out.
Eastwood, nobody wants to see that.
Yeah,
all right, I do not have that. Do we know what strongholds are?
That is the big mystery. I asked Miller, since he's the data mine guy, and I asked my contact at Rocksteady. I'm genuinely curious at this point. What the hell are strongholds? Because when I'm thinking of strongholds, I'm thinking of kind of like dungeons. Would be dungeons, like there would be like would they do, because they haven't really had many. They don't really do indoor missions that much. But when I think of a stronghold, I just think of like a base, like the bases in Spider-Man, for example, where you find them on the map and there's just a bunch of enemies hanging out at this hideout, and you have to go in there and punch them in the face.
That's what I was gonna say.
That's pretty much how I'm thinking of it.
Because which they already kind of have, like they have the out in the open world. They're the incubator, those incubator missions, which I consider smaller strongholds to a degree. So maybe it's something like that.
But these are inside.
Maybe they're inside, or maybe that's just a weird way they describe the PvP mode. Who knows? I don't know. I mean, it could be good. I think it's separate from the new incursion missions that they're adding, which they gave us a brief overview about. They're adding 3 more that they said they're going to focus more on. They said they were going to focus more on like,
Killing things.
Yeah. I'm because it's no surprise a lot of people aren't fans of like invasive species and what have you, but we'll see what they already call them assault missions.
Yeah,
they're supposed to allow you to kind of flex more of your builds in combat. So we'll see. And they also took Trix Ridiculous's advice and are improving the killing time mission so that the enemies aren't so spread out. So it's actually more of a horde mode like it's supposed to be.
Right.
Instead of you chasing, because that's the main reason I don't do that. Like, because
it's so spread out.
Yeah, it's because when you're in the end game, like you gotta think. That's why I feel like they should bring more competitive players in to test some of this stuff. Because as an end game player, I'm trying to play a mission that is going to give me the most resources in the most efficient amount of time, and also just to test my build. But with the killing time, I'm spending like 20 minutes and half of it is looking for people to fucking fight. Yeah. whereas I can and the level rewards that have gone up by then are nothing, like if you leave at that point. Whereas if you do like sending a signal in that time, you can finish it already. You get a bunch of the Bane set, and you call it a day. You don't even get the Bane stuff from killing. Like it's just like, what is this thing for? Like it on paper, it was great, but when you actually see it in practice, it's like, yeah, this isn't really a horde mode like it should be. So I'm looking forward to testing that out because I would love it. That's what. How many times did we ask for that in a horde mode in Avengers? Yeah,
right.
Like
I would like to update everybody that I have officially finished performing surgery on my phone. It is all cleaned up.
Congratulations, Jay. We're very proud of you.
Question: did you guys get a chance to check out any of the X-Men 97 episodes?
I have. I watched both of them. They were fantastic.
I didn't watch any of them.
Really?
Yeah. So I had this whole plan. I was like, I'm gonna watch all the old X-Men cartoons, and then I'm gonna get in there when they premiere. And then I just got busy and just didn't do any of that. I was actually playing Dragon's Dogma 2, and that kind of took all my time over the past week. And no regrets. The only shows I watched, I did finish season 1 and 2 of The Bear on Hulu. Amazing show. Can't wait for season 3. Love it. And I watched the first I think 3 or 4 episodes of Shogun.
Oh, okay.
Also very good so far. I watched The Gentleman on Netflix. Fantastic. Highly recommend. But I'm eventually get the X-Men 97 because I have heard some good things. But yeah, I was very much face first in Dragon's Dogma 2 most of the week, and I was having a good old time. Funny enough, they literally did send me the DLC list. Like it was a bunch of stuff in the email, and I was like, I saw DLC, I was like, oh, okay, it's like new story content or whatever, and I just kind of glanced at it and and didn't think much of it. And then I saw
XP boosters.
all that happening online. I was like, uh-oh. Because I literally, because I was playing, this is frequently happens to me. It was like 3:00 in the morning. I before I realized it, and in a Dragon's Dogma 2 session, and when I went to the PlayStation menu, I saw that it had currency available for sale. I was like, oh, that's new. I just went to sleep and didn't think about it. Then I saw everyone talking about it the next day, and I was like, oh boy. they are upset. Yep. So turns out Dragon's Dogma 2 is games as a service. Just like Batman Arkham Knight. So it's been getting review bombed mostly on Steam, which is, obviously the inferior platform. And we haven't seen the user reviews yet on Metacritic. We know they'll probably review bomb that as well. But I imagine it's doing well on console, and it's divided the community a bit. I just gotta say off the bat, if you're defending Dragon's Dogma 2 in this microtransaction debate, good for you. But I never want to hear you complain about a live service or games as a service ever again.
Yeah. I think the only I don't know that what I tweeted about it like briefly. I don't know that I was really necessarily defending it, but it just very much feels like, and I'm saying this ignorantly, not having played the game. It feels like the stuff that's there is like unnecessary. So like,
yeah. So as someone who has put in about 50 hours, I can tell you that it is necessary stuff, but you get it in the game. like fast travel in the game. There are two methods of fast travel. Ox cart, where you literally get in a cart pulled by a giant ox, and it walks you to your destination in the next town, and you can doze off. You can hit a button to doze off, and then you wake up at your destination. That one's not a foolproof method of travel because this isn't a realistic fantasy game. So sometimes your ox cart will be attacked by monsters, and you have to get out and fight them. Usually it's okay, but sometimes you'll get like a giant cyclops and the cart gets destroyed. so you're kind of cooked. but otherwise, yeah, that's a method of fast travel, and it only costs you 100 or 200 gold, pretty easy for your trip. And then the other method is instant fast travel, which is you're basically a teleporting. And it's kind of a two-part system. So you need this crystal that is in some towns, and this other crystal which you can find and you can place anywhere in the world. And then you need a fairy stone, and you need to stand in front of one of these crystals to use the fairy stone, and then it'll teleport you to anywhere that has one of those crystals instantly. And you can earn the fairy stones, just randomly find them, or you can buy them from a vendor. They're 10,000 gold a piece. But usually you're walking around the world because it very much encourages exploration, but there are definitely some times where you definitely need to get somewhere quickly, and you don't feel like traveling literally an hour or so just to get there. So it's necessary to a degree. It feels like kind of a thing where they put that in there for convenience. Like, it's like, yeah, you can play it. Yeah, you can play it and get all the stuff. Or if you're feeling lazy and it's like, okay, well, these port crystals are kind of hard to find, so I just need a couple of them, just to have on hand. So I'll drop a couple bucks, grab some port crystals, put them in my inventory so that I can drop them in different places just to make this more convenient. It's cheaper than buying gold or whatever. So I can kind of see that, but I think the bad thing is the I guess the lack of transparency. Like there, that's the like I because literally I have played the game. I have the only thing I really wanted at all in my playthrough was just more traversal options, not even necessarily fast travel, just more traversal options. But when I'm just looking at the list, I'm like, yeah, stuff like most of the stuff that there you literally don't need. Like there's a key, there's a prison where if you do something bad, you get locked in, you get thrown into prison. But you don't need to, spend the money in the store to buy a key. There's literally a mission early in the game where that requires you to get a key, and you just keep that key for the rest of the game, and you can unlock any of the prison cells anywhere on the map. And you only need it one time. They also sell it in the game for like a couple hundred gold. It's pretty easy. Also, you can literally punch your way out of jail. like the first time I got arrested, I was in the capital town, and I noticed the walls behind me were breakable. So I literally just punched my way out.
Yeah. So rewinding just a second, because I meant to do this earlier, but then we segued very quickly into Dragon's Dogma, even though we talked a lot about the other thing. A big shout out to Rando Drunken Emu, aka the Randalorian. I'm sure he follows all three of us.
Great name.
You might notice in the chat right now there's a code, as Congeli has asked, what's the code for?
It's actually for JayShockblast's OnlyFans. You get 2 months free.
No, so I believe last week's stream we gave away a Victor Zaz weapon doll.
We did.
And Rando is watching, and he said, "Hey Jay, I have an extra code. Would you like to give it away?" And I said, "Absolutely. Thank you so much, friend." So I'm not going to tell you how to do it. Figure it out. Figure out how you redeem that code, and you can get yourself a Victor Zaz doll from the comic book.
Boom.
All right, and let us know that you got it. All right. Yep. Anyway, go ahead, Kaz.
No, I was saying that's what's up. That's what's up.
Okay. So that's kind of what I was getting at when I said it seems unnecessary.
Yeah.
Like it seems like kind of like those boosters when they came out in Avengers. Everybody was like so up in arms. How dare you? How dare you do this? Like literally nobody needed them. Okay. And anybody that was gonna buy them, like, look, who cares? Like nobody needs to buy them. They're just there. It wasn't really that big of a deal. The transparency was the issue.
Yeah.
But if we go to the actual fact of the matter, is that from what I interpret, the stuff that you can buy for real cash money in Dragon's Dogma 2, it doesn't seem like something you need to buy with real cash money. It seems like something that should be pretty easy to do.
You can play the game and not need any of that. Like you will get all of the things very easy. You don't need any of you can start off a new game, run through it, have a great time, and not have any need to spend a dime. Like all of that is earnable. It's earnable. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of content in the base game. This is literally there if you want to, maybe if you want to get a head start on some stuff. You want to have. I mean, really, the only really value thing I could see there is like the fast travel stuff. Because even the wake stones, like the wake stones are how you revive after you die. Like if you can use it to revive other people, or if you're killed, you can use it to immediately revive instead of starting back. But the way their system works, you don't even need that. I'm currently I have about 6 wake stones right now. I have 6 wake stones right now, but I'm running a thief build, and I just unlocked the Ultra Instinct skill, which basically makes me literally invincible. So I haven't had to use the wake stone, but even when you had them, the way the game is flexible enough so that it's kind of hard to die. Like, you can get into some absolute bullshit situations, but there's like a delay before your health hits zero. Like, you can see your health is low, it'll be like gray. You can literally just pause the game and consume a potion to to regain your health, and it won't register to death, and you just keep going. Or if you do die, it loads you back like right where you were. So it's not like you're going all the way back to like a distant level or anything like that. You're literally like right where you were before, and you can just go again. So it's not even necessary. That's not even necessary. There's even a skill you can unlock that allows you to get a ping and a light flash whenever you're nearby either a wake stone or this thing called seeker stone. So all this stuff is literally just like, if you just feel like spending a little cash to get a little extra head start, just to make things a little bit easier. If you're just feeling lazy, you can do that, but it's wholly unnecessary to the game experience. And yeah, it's literally is about the transparency. Like, because the issue with Avengers is that people weren't necessarily mad about the boosters per se, because like if you were experienced in the game, you knew you didn't really need them. It wasn't really a big deal, especially if you knew the farming methods. It was the fact that they nerfed XP, lied about why they're doing it, lied about what they were going to do with the XP boosters, and then put them out for sale right when they got an influx of new players in order to take advantage of them, because they
lied to us in the Discord call when they announced them.
Yeah.
So that we would go out there and say, don't worry about it, not a big deal, because everybody in the Discord came out and was like, hey, look, these aren't going to be a big deal. They're just bundled. They're not going to sell them. That's what they told us. I will say Brian was the one that gave that pitch, and he did say they would reevaluate it at some point, but that they would communicate it. They didn't.
They did not.
They just dropped it.
They just shadow dropped it right when the game went to Game Pass.
And I don't really think, I personally still to this day don't think it was that big of a deal. Like, I don't care. Like, I bought XP boosters in Marvel Heroes Omega all the time. Okay. Like, not as boosters, but like they were like, there's kind of like a gotcha card thing where you buy these cards and it could be this, or this. And I knew there was, like, worst case scenario, if I didn't get the skin I was looking for, I'd get an XP booster, you know. Right. Well, so one of those kind of things.
I made sure, and my is mostly new, but I made sure they understood. Never buy these boosters, because not only do you get a bunch for free, and you should all the time, and you should have some stored up, but I can show you the best XP method. So the boosters really aren't really going to make that much of a difference anyway. It was literally just the fact that
how they went about it.
They literally altered the XP gains so that they could create a market need for XP boosting.
Sadot, you were just getting XP too fast. It was too confusing for you.
So many skill points. It's very confusing not knowing what to do all those points. So that's they had to act really fast and remove all the earnable cosmetics from the game and give us some paid XP boosters. Like that was the thing. Like, the Capcom's was much better, not nearly as bad as what Avengers did, but it is not great that they did not share this in the marketing material. But we know why they did, because if they had said, oh, by the way, we're going to have these DLCs for purchase, people online be like, okay, this job's just a live service, and it would have been a whole thing. So they were just like, you know what, we're not going to mention it. We're going to tell it to the journalists and the content creators who got it early, but we're not going to put it live until launch, and then fucking deal with it. Too late. We got your money.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's just,
which is literally fine. Like, you don't need to buy any of this.
Right.
It does not affect the game at all.
Now, here's a question I had, because there's like apparently only one game save.
Yeah, that's fucking dumb.
Yeah.
So that was like the microtransact thing. I literally don't care. Like, I might buy a couple of port crystals. I literally don't care. You don't have to do anything. The one save file is the stupidest fucking thing I've seen in gaming in a long time. And if they end up selling extra save files for $4.99, I'm gonna have something to say. But so the justification they gave is that they wanted to encourage exploration by only having you on that one save, and there is a new game plus as well. So once you finish the story at launch, crazy. There's new game plus, so you start over after you finish the game. After you roll the credits, you can start over from the beginning with all of your gear and everything intact. But you can't. But you're still only on that one save, and you also one of the things they put in the store for purchase for real money is a way to edit the appearance of your character, which is something you can do in the game, not for free in the game either. I think that's cost you some gold. But one of the things that built a lot of hype for the game was the character creator. Like, a lot of posts went viral from people, showing all the people they can create. I made Kratos, I made Hawkeye, I made Black Widow. There were people who made Bully Maguire. I saw Willem Dafoe.
That one looked sick.
It looked insane. I saw they had Dune characters, Baldur's Gate 3 characters, Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. They had everybody. The character creator is the best I've ever seen. It's really good. And the fact that they had that and thought we're smart enough to put it as marketing material instead of a demo, like, let's give them the character creator to play with. They can create multiple characters and then transfer it over into the game. All that's great. But you got to pick one because you get one save.
Yeah.
Now, fortunately, I was able to do a workaround because they told me this is crazy. So I got review access. I got a review copy. So they sent it to me like a week ago, and I played about 30 hours for my review, and closer to 40 probably. And then I saw, oh, you can also stream it, the day before launch, but you have to start from the beginning. Problem is, there's no option to start from the beginning. Like, when you open your game, all you have are the options to load from either your current save or the last time you saved at an end. There's no start over option. There's obviously no create a new save file and start over from the beginning option. In order to play the game a day early, stream it a day early, I would have literally had to manually go into my PlayStation, delete my Dogma 30 hours of save data to start a new game, just so I could stream it the day before, all because they didn't include multiple saves. Fortunately, I got sent 2 copies of the game, so I just made a new one on my other profile. But that's unbelievably fucking dumb. Like, we're in 2024. We should not be going backwards with this stuff. Like the microtransactions, fine. They're it's not pay to win or anything like that. All the stuff you can get in game, but to take some of the most interesting things about the game, which is the character creator and people's desire to play multiple times, and just to say, oh, you want to create a new save and play with different characters and different classes? Well, fuck you. like who cares about your time? Like, if you want to use this amazing character creator and make a JayShockblast and play him, or make a Goku, you have to either pay us real money to edit your character, or pay in-game money to edit your character and then change your vocation. And then you can either delete your save or you can do New Game Plus and just, go and go spend to create. Like, it's fucking dumb. Like, it's such a no-brainer. Give us multiple saves and let it so we can start new games with different characters. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Remember that time that JayShockblast hooked up Sadot the Gamer with NBA 2K24? Because I remember the time Sadot admitted having 2 codes and putting one on his alt account just because.
Just because they only gave us one save, and I didn't want to delete 30 hours of work on my perfect Kratos build.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
If I had more than one save, Jay, which is crazy that a 2024 AAA game doesn't have,
you would have given it to Casual Avenger. I understand.
I would have definitely given it to.
I'm kidding.
I would definitely look to give the code away, preferably to a content creator friend who I know may have wanted to make some.
Can you press the I don't care button, please?
Sure.
I don't care.
Thank you.
I literally did not think of JayShockblast at all, but
it's fine.
I was literally because this is the situation. I was like, it was the night before. I was like, I really want to stream this, but there's no fucking way I'm deleting 40 hours of save data.
I wouldn't even be able to play it like early anyway, so it's fine. I'm doing it to be funny. Like, I don't care. But we'll talk about this in a little bit. Just a heads up.
Legitimately, I would have loved to have given my extra code away.
Yeah.
But
good.
The fact that I literally would have had to delete my save.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane.
It is. I am looking forward to playing this.
You haven't played it yet?
Dude, man, I got home last night and I was so tired. I literally got it hours before it even came out. I couldn't even redeem my code for the extra shit because it wasn't even out yet officially. And I just could not mentally handle playing a video game. I did a lot of walking and talking and meeting people and
any big shots? I know Pax East isn't what it used to be.
I did run into Major Nelson today.
Ooh, I have no idea who that is.
Yes, you do.
Major Nelson? I have no idea who that is.
He was like Mr. Xbox.
No idea who that is.
There's no way.
I've literally never.
You said Xbox. I'm like, you definitely lost.
No fucking way.
You're lying to me. He was literally the face of Xbox for 20 years.
Why the hell would I know anything about a slot?
Because there was a day that you liked Fable.
Yeah, I didn't care about Xbox. I liked Fable. Love Fable.
Right. Well,
Fable 2 still in my top 3 all time.
Yeah, there wasn't really. I mean, I met with some of the devs for Killer. I guess we'll just talk about Killer Klowns. All right.
Yep, let's do that.
So confirmed under drinking age, not knowing who made right. Yeah, I did play Killer Klowns from Outer Space yesterday, and I've played. So the company that makes this, Ilphonic, also made the Predator game, and they made the Ghostbusters game. So if you've played either of those, you already kind of know what you're getting here, and it actually is awesome. Like, I remember watching the movie when I was a kid, and obviously being scared by it and everything. And I played as a clown, so it's basically 3 versus 7. So there's 3 clowns, 7 humans. Okay. The humans are trying to kill the clowns. The clowns are trying to kill the humans. You have 15 minutes to kill enough humans, and there you go. And it was really fun. Like, one of the things, one of the devs, when I was talking to them, they were like, this is only on the next gen, so that was huge for us. A lot of people were upset that we made the Ghostbusters game stylized, so it was a little cartoony.
Right.
But we had to do that because it kind of hides a little bit of the limitations that the PS4 and Xbox One and Switch were holding down, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
With this one, like the lighting effects are so cool. It's creepy. There's all these little clown minions walking around. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't realize I could throw the little clown when you kill a human, they turn into like a candy corn, and you have to bring it and hook it up on a thing, and it like sits there for a certain amount of time, and then they're dead.
So it's Dead by Daylight. Okay.
It's definitely a Dead by Daylight type of game for sure.
Okay.
It's asymmetrical, whatever. So yeah, it's definitely a Dead by Daylight vibe. But like you could throw those candy corns to the little minions, and they would bring it there for you. But they're also a little dumb, so they don't necessarily do it right away. They'll mess around on the way there. But yeah, like I really liked it. It was really fun. I also dominated. I don't know how, because
Jay skill issue dominated.
Exactly. I had 3 kills out of our team's 6, and I had like 6 candy corns, and like I was like the most. Dude, I literally tweeted at them because I did not even know that was there, and I wasn't necessarily going to go.
There's a skill issue, we know.
Yeah. Like, well, I mean, yeah, I totally missed it. And then I follow them. Like when they announced that game, I followed that dev on Twitter, and right before the show started, I saw their retweet somebody playing as Scarlet. It's basically that Turtles game that came out last year, or the Toxic Crusaders game.
Okay.
Typical Double Dragon, like, but like, oh, it looks so cool, and I really wish I didn't miss it. So I'm trying. I might go back because there was supposed to be some like swag bag I was supposed to get, and they didn't have it available until
that's tough.
Tonight. So now I'm like, I kind of want to go see what it is. It's probably gonna be nothing, but I also would like to go play that. And I was pitching it to my wife because I know she does not want to drive to Boston, for sure.
Who does?
Yeah, dude. I mean, how long it took me today, but like, but you know how like there's that cheese that like Italian restaurants have like that block of cheese where they like just melt it and like scrape it off and then put it right on your pasta. Like there's a restaurant that does that in Boston, and I'm pitching it like, hey, we're actually gonna go get dinner there. And she could probably also hear me, by the way.
Oh, it's like so you're trying to trick your wife into going on a date.
I'm trying to let her be able to relate to her students who love video games, and she can go back in on Monday and say, I went to PAX East and you didn't.
Matt,
flex.
That's actually pretty good manipulation, Jay. You've learned well.
Yeah, so
900 IQ.
Yeah. But I will say, so I guess they also worked on the Friday the 13th game. Yeah, like if you played any of their games, it's that, but killer clowns. And they seem pretty passionate about it. Like they seem like they really like love like the characters, everything, you know what I mean? So I for one am in on this. I definitely think it's a game that I can have some fun with for, I don't think it's a game I'm going to play like long term, but I could definitely have some really cool streams with it, here and there, and I think people will really enjoy it.
Sounds like a party game, get some
I'm not a Dead by Daylight guy, so it might have proximity chat. I didn't like talk to anybody. Like it was like a setup, at the show. So I don't know if that was really highlighted at all. But I know I had like a candy corn gun or something. I don't know or a popcorn gun, something like that. But it basically was like a shotgun. That was kind of cool. When you're the clown, you can teleport basically anywhere on the map. So like if somebody's in a certain area, you have an ability that'll let you like go in a top-down view of the map, pick a spot, and then you just drop there, So it's pretty cool. I definitely enjoyed it. I did the PR rep was like pitching me sitting down with the devs to talk about it, but like I didn't have anything planned for that. I just really wanted to play the game, And this dude showed up. I guess he was supposed to be there at 10 a.m. that day. And he's like, you got that my appointment got canceled. Like, oh, are you gonna be here Sunday? Like, no, we're gonna be gone. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. Why are you guys able to do it right now? Because I'm about to go in there and I don't have anything planned. So if you want to do this interview right now, I'll just be a fly on the wall and watch. And it worked out really good. And that's why everybody loves me.
Except Kyle.
Yeah, fuck that guy though.
Outside of my actual rant about their not having a save file, which beyond the one, which is incredibly dumb, and please add that later along with all the other fixes. But the game was great. I love the game. I love Dragon's Dogma too. I mean, don't buy it on Steam apparently, but but that's the case with pretty much every game that releases at the same time on console and PC. Just probably wait a week or so. Check out the reviews first on Steam to see what it is. The Steam reviews for Dragon's Dogma 2 are going to be a little misleading because there's a lot of people bitching about the microtransactions, which are totally unnecessary. You don't need them at all to enjoy the game whatsoever. So don't let that stop you. But yeah, the big annoying thing is definitely the lack of the save file. It's definitely not a perfect game. I did my full review, and it would have been great. It would have been perfect. It would have been a 10 out of 10 game if it had like more dragons. If it had a little less Dragon's Dogma and a little more Baldur's Gate 3, like, because it's got a little bit of everything. It's got a little bit of DNA. It's fans of the previous game will love it, but it's got a little bit of Elden Ring to it, where you're legitimately rewarded for exploring. Like you'll stumble across these insane boss encounters just out of nowhere. It's really fun, open, dynamic world. It's great, but the dialogue scenes that aren't like actual cutscenes look fucking horrific, and unlike Baldur's Gate 3, there you can't romance your companion. You really can't say anything. Like when you try to talk to your companion, even though you're traveling the whole game with them, they only have like 2 dialogue options. Like they pretty much say the same thing, and it's like it's really cringe. Like when you find the other NPCs that can join your party on the road, they literally just recite their personality profile to you. Like I am a logical tactician who will put myself ahead. Like I'm like, bro, what the like you're coming from Baldur's Gate 3 where you're having these crazy deep conversations and you're learning about these characters and their motivations and eventually fucking them. That's it's a complete none of that is in Dragon's Dogma 2. So keep that in mind. You're mainly there for the fighting, which the combat's great. That's what held me back from playing more Baldur's Gate 3. I don't like turn-based combat. I don't like top-down turn-based combat anymore.
Except in Midnight Suns. You like it then.
But because that's a card game and also looks cool. like this is a top-down turn-based strategy game. It doesn't have flashy cinematics. There's no cards involved. Like I'm not. And to be clear, I love Midnight Suns. I would have loved it more if it wasn't a turn-based card game. That's just a fact. I don't like it. So Baldur's Gate 3 definitely won me over with the combat. Yeah, the dialogue stuff, not so much. The story is good. The missions are great. There's a bunch of stuff to do. The missions are different and very interesting. Will get sidetracked all the time. Like, all right, I'm gonna do the main thing here. All right, I gotta go to this town, gotta do this main mission. And then you'll just literally stumble upon this crazy quest and just be like, or someone will approach you or some stuff, and you're like, oh, this sounds interesting. Let me do that. And then 5 hours later, you're just like, you're nowhere near doing the thing you were originally going to do. So it's one of those games. So it's definitely one of those games where you're going to be like 100 hours in and realize you haven't even finished the story yet. It's like that.
That reminds me of The Witcher 3, which I had never finished for that reason.
Yeah, exactly. Like a huge world, tons of stuff to do. It was similar to me with Ghost of Tsushima. Like I delayed finishing the game. Obviously, it wasn't as long, but I delayed finishing the game because I was enjoying the side quests. Like I was enjoying learning about the characters and the different side missions and doing all that stuff. And I delayed doing the main campaign. And I love games that can do that. Like you get a nice open world game and give plenty of stuff to do, like not just collect pigeons, like legit side activities that are interesting and story driven. Not asking, helping people go to the prom or whatever, like which people hate these days. Yeah, it's just
stop biting the hand that feeds.
That was good. No, like I that's actually one of the things that I like more about Spider-Man 2. Like people glaze Spider-Man PS4, but let's be honest, the side missions, even if you didn't like, the Haley mission or the Miles mission where you're helping the school, find the mascot or help that couple with their prom, the side missions are way better in Spider-Man 2 than in Spider-Man PS4. The Spider-Man PS4 missions were absolute dog shit. Let's be honest. Let's keep it a beat. Like the best side content in that game was like the Taskmaster stuff.
And by that point, we were already tired of Taskmaster.
Yeah, so it's just like, and it's not like those fights were like super dynamic anyway. Yeah, the rest it was like Screwball. Like everyone hated Screwball. Like no one wanted to do that. There was extra MJ missions. Like let's be honest, the side missions sucked. Like I would give Spider-Man 2 that there was a point of emphasis. They wanted to make the side missions more dynamic, more feel like part of a story, even if it's separate from the main story, which I definitely appreciate when open world games do that, because no one likes the by the numbers cut and paste open world side activity nonsense. We like to like a little make the world feel lived and interesting.
Yeah, no, I feel that, and I definitely want to try Dragon's Dogma at some point. I just don't know what to get. I don't know what it is, man. The last week or two, I've just been like, I kind of hit a wall creatively. I didn't want to do anything. Like I just didn't. I don't know. I've been in a weird mood. Like I tried streaming Fortnite earlier this week, and I like played one match, and just was like, I'm out. Like
I know what it is. You've been missing Suicide Squad. Like so
it might actually be that, like so. I'm kind of hoping. Well, I'm hoping Rise of the Ronin gets me. I was going to stream it, but I think I'm just going to record some videos. I was actually talking about that with someone today. I was like, listen, the way I've always looked at it is I know what I want to do. Sometimes it's going to work. Sometimes it's not, and I don't know if anybody's going to watch these videos, but I'm just going to put it out, play my game, and then we'll go from there.
You never know.
So, you never know. So,
and the more important thing is that you're having fun. I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah.
The reviews so far seem to be mixed. Currently sitting at Dragon's Dogma currently 86 on Metacritic, on PlayStation 90 on some of the other platforms. Whereas Rise of Ronin is sitting at a 76. Definitely mixed reviews so far for that one.
I was not expecting. I am not expecting it to be Ghost of Tsushima.
No, we should not expect any game to be Ghost of Tsushima.
Right. I listen. If this ends up being a 7 out of 10, I think I'll be pretty content with that.
Yeah. From everything I've seen so far, I'm like, this definitely feels like one of those games where it's like critics. It didn't have anything to blow the critics away. It's like seems like it's a Team Ninja open world game where it's just just some cool combat, some okay story stuff, but mainly there to kick butt. And I'm fine with that. It's like it's like you get to do some kind of Ghost of Tsushima adjacent stuff with the cool samurai stuff, but you get a glider too, so you got a little cooler traversal stuff there.
What if they have a glider in Ghost of Tsushima too?
Oh, they're definitely going to have something like that. They for sure are going to have some cool upgrades. That's the one thing. That would have been a wonderful bonus. Like, and even then, like I loved traveling by horse. Like that was just a great experience. But yeah, being able to fly would also be pretty cool. I wouldn't say no to that. I wouldn't say no. Like at this point, just let Sucker Punch do whatever they want.
Yeah,
whatever they want to do for Ghost.
Until they do something you don't like, and then we didn't ask for this.
Of course, yeah, of course. Then
speaking though of we didn't ask for this, Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra.
Definitely did not ask for more of this sweet baby nonsense, this woke Black Panther and Captain America game.
What, like I honestly, I've been offline. Is that really actually happening?
Kinda, not too much. The most I've seen is people complaining about the way Captain America looks. They don't like.
He looks like Wyatt.
He literally looks like
Douglas.
He literally looks like
U.S. agent.
U.S. agent from Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I said that in my video. I do see that, but that's gonna happen every single time that they do a character and it doesn't look exactly like the MCU actor. We saw this in Avengers every time they put out the new MCU skins. Like, but it doesn't look like him.
Yeah, I think the funny enough, I didn't get many criticisms about him the way he looks in terms of like the face or anything like that. It was just people are annoyed that they made him too skinny, which I think is fair. Like, yeah, you don't have to look like Chris Evans in terms of the face, but Captain America is a super soldier. He should be a little swole, Like that was another issue with Avengers, which they eventually corrected. They took away his dad bod and gave him some abs. Like Captain America is supposed to be ripped. He's a super soldier.
I don't know. I didn't really like think anything of it, to be honest with you. I didn't think he looked that bad. I mean, I feel like
I know it was fine. I literally was like, oh, U.S. agent, okay, whatever. But I was just more so blown away by just the graphics. Like,
oh yeah, dude, I'm scrolling through and I see Carrie Payton with his mask off as Black Panther. I'm like, oh shit, that's the game.
Yeah, like
it
took me a second. It took me a second because a couple of seconds I was like, because I thought it was like how Alan Wake will do real life scenes mixed in with the actual game. I thought that's what they were doing. Like they actually had film like real life, and then I looked closer. I was like, oh fuck, this is CGI. This is all CGI.
Yeah,
in Unreal 5. This is actual game. They actually baked this in the game.
And think about it, like Marvel, Disney. I think we talked about this last week. Disney has entered this relationship with Epic Games. And obviously that means Unreal 5 is going to be prominent in what they do. Mm-hmm. Now, I know a lot of it is going to be metaverse type stuff, with Fortnite.
We'll fail very fast if it's not Fortnite related, but hopefully do some other stuff.
Yeah, but like I really feel like seeing the power of Unreal 5. This is one of the things that
5.4.
5.4, you're right. But like this is one of the things that plagued Marvel's Avengers, where they were using that internal engine that they had over there at Crystal Dynamics, and that's going to be something that has plagued a lot of different games. Everybody has like their own kind of servers, and I understand there's licensing and whatever, but like I don't know, man. It feels like Unreal. Like I'm not like some big Unreal proponent or anything, but like it feels like when you have an engine like that is so widely used, it would be easier to hire people that understand it and easier to work with it. But that's just me.
Well, Jay, you're just a guy who likes to make sense. Like, so obviously you have no place in anywhere in gaming.
I mean, well, look at multiverses. Like they literally just rebuilt the whole game in Unreal 5.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like that goes a long way. Fortnite at one point went from Unreal 4 to 5. They're like, all right, boom,
upgrade.
we just changed the whole thing. So I mean, I don't know. I am very, very interested to see what's going on here. I have been making the joke. Nobody asked for this. And honestly, like just last week, I was like, I'm counting down the days until the nobody asked for this tweet start, and I posted the picture from, when it was still Black Panther and Captain America.
Yeah, I definitely you definitely know people are going to be whining about the Dora Milaje and Howling Commando parts, and we don't know how much of that the game is going to be that.
Right. But I think in
not
general, just like the theme of like being in World War II and like, oh, why couldn't we just like I've already seen, oh, I just want a Black Panther video game. Why couldn't we just get the T'Challa?
We're getting that already.
Right. It's like, well, there's
and it's an Unreal 5.
Yeah, that's gonna be a different game. But like this is the game that they wrote a story for and wanted to develop. Okay. Like I understand, like, sure, I would love it if they did, a Nova game, or like another Guardians of the Galaxy, or I don't know, a Daredevil. Okay. Like, but like, that's not what they chose to do. And the fact that they're doing this doesn't mean it's in place of another character,
And it's also a cool story. The one thing I was wishing they would have done is like, because in the comics they had when T'Chanda,
it's actually Azuri.
Azuri was dealing with Hydra. They were like, there was Nick Fury involved. He was with the Howling Commandos, and I thought that would have been really cool if we could have had a playable Nick Fury. And in addition to Adora Milaje, I've been down that. If you're going to give us two human allies to play as, I would have definitely wanted one of them to be Nick Fury, and it would have fit in the comic. But
I think one of the problems we're running into with that is Nick Fury is not Captain America getting frozen on ice. So like we're getting further and further away from World War II, and like it's hard to incorporate people like that in the story. You know what I mean? Like we're at a point where like the Nick Fury origin story is going to start to become like Vietnam or something.
I mean, he was part of that story. It was a
I get it.
It was a younger Nick Fury. He was with the Howling Commandos.
No, I know, but like at that would put him at like 100 now.
Yeah, but he's Nick Fury. Who gives a shit? We don't have to worry about current day Marvel. This is their Skydance universe, and
I get it. Like, trust me, I agree. I would love Nick Fury. You're frozen, by the way. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, I'm waiting for this to reset, but it's not.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm sure you see it on your end. I'm just. All right. Are you back, Kaz, or? All right. So it's just me until Sadot gets that worked out. But yeah, you know what I mean. I'm excited for the game. Listen, I think all three of us collectively just love Marvel characters. And I think a lot of you guys in chat are probably with us. We enjoy Marvel stories. And would I have picked another World War II era Captain America game with a version of Black Panther that none of us are used to? No, I probably wouldn't have, but they think that they could put together a fun, interesting story with that, then I'm all for it, As long as it's a good game and it's fun, it's a good story, I think we're all going to be pretty happy with that.
I blame Jay.
Yeah. Listen, I am a professional, Rando, and once again, shout out to Rando Drunken Emu for providing that code earlier. So yeah, thank you. Who was it? The one?
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, it was Congeli. I'm
That's
sure
quite
it's
nice.
like his initials and his last name, but we're just gonna call him Congeli from now on, I guess.
That's a wild name.
Yeah. Listen, don't disrespect the Italians that come get you.
Oh, that was way more
It was.
That was extremely
Yeah.
racist.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm not Italian. I'm Irish, so
Oh, that explains it. Those Irish, they were the main. They were one of the main villains in that show Warrior about the martial artist who comes over from China and deals with all the bigotry of America during that period where the Irish were, funny enough, also coming off of discrimination, but they were also the discriminators. It was a whole thing. They did get drunk a lot as well. Funny enough, I don't see Jay. I don't consider Jay Irish.
really,
They don't seem Irish.
I don't see like. All right, I know that my like my beard used to be like more red than gray.
When I look at JayShockblast, I think trucker from Missouri.
Literally from Boston, the most Irish town in America.
Yeah, but you don't look at anything like I would describe a Boston guy.
My mom's last name is McManus. McManus.
Yeah, but you don't look the part or sound the part.
Yeah, because I'm fucking American.
American.
I actually I don't really have an accent in general.
And I've never seen you drink on stream.
I'm not a big drinker anymore. Like I don't know. I don't like being drunk. I'm gonna be honest. Whenever I get drunk, I just can't sleep. I just stare at the ceiling for 8 hours, it's
wonder what they put in your drink.
dude, I don't drink beer, I'll tell you that. I in my college days I was a Long Island guy, and now I'm a Mai Tai guy.
Well, I won't make fun of you because I too enjoy a good mixed drink. Though I drink White Russians, not Mai Tais.
Dude, I make such a mean Mai Tai, or whatever my version of a Mai Tai is.
Dan Snyder, the feet guy from Nickelodeon. I heard some stuff happen, but I haven't. I know people were talking about him again in the news. I'm guessing. I think what he didn't get life in prison or something as he should, or some kind of injustice occurred. I haven't heard. I didn't hear the specifics, but I vaguely know about the whole Dan Snyder situation. Yeah, definitely puts a dark cloud over my childhood. I didn't watch some of the later Disney stuff, but I grew up on like Nickelodeon's, Snick, all that, Amanda Bynes. That was my childhood. So yeah, hearing about all the Snyder stuff is like.
I was never a big Nickelodeon guy, so
I mean, you're old, so that makes sense.
I've seen a little bit of what's going on.
You're like 30 when all that came out. It makes sense, but yeah, so unsurprisingly, there were a lot of creeps in Hollywood, and still are.
Yeah.
They did not go anywhere. They're still there. They're still. I mean, remember Hollywood? That's why I always like roll my eyes whenever I see. I don't watch war shows anymore, but yeah, whenever I see celebrities like in Hollywood lecturing people about politics or whatever, I just remember them like giving a standing ovation to Roman Polanski.
Do you remember? I want to say it was the Oscars or it was the Golden Globes, but but Ricky Gervais came out. He was hosting
Yeah,
and just absolutely
obliterated
them.
His Epstein joke was unbelievable.
Yeah, like honestly, like I liked Ricky Gervais before that, but I literally followed him on Twitter that night and have ever since.
I watched both seasons of Afterlife, his Netflix show.
Yeah,
it's very good, by the way.
Is it?
But yeah, after that, I was like, that's my, because I like Ricky Gervais before. I like The Office. I watched a little bit of his stand up. I thought he was generally a funny guy, but yeah, when I saw him just destroy the Golden Globes, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, like I love it when he when somebody tweets and tags him in it, and he just every so often retweets it just to remind everybody of who the fuck he is.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, that was an all-timer.
Probably one of the best parts of it was just their audience reactions, like the camera. They would just cut to the audience.
Yeah, and everybody's face was like, and then Tom Hanks at one point was just like,
it was amazing. And Robert Downey Jr. got so triggered. They called him mean, a bully. I was like, bro, no, that's not how you handle it. Just either roll the joke or just shut up and take it.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing you can do there, bro. This is a professional.
Yeah,
put on a master class.
Yeah, it really was. Like that was. He just kept going. Doesn't matter. Never coming back.
And they invited him back, which was crazy. They invited him back to do it again.
And it wasn't even just that thing too. The what do you call it? Like the whole night he was just like on a roll, you know.
He got all it was, and that's exactly what they need, because that's one of the problems with those shows now. They take themselves way too fucking seriously.
Oh, he kept Hollywood Foreign Press, incredibly racist. That was what it was. He just kept basically blasting them they don't even speak English.
Eddie got on Leo about his tendency to date young.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. That's what they need, because especially Hollywood. I mean, come on, bro. There's some absolute monsters still there. We don't want to hear you go up there and pat yourself on the back. They need a good comedian to come in there and put them in their place.
Oh god, I can only imagine someone like Anthony Jeselnik hosting.
Oh, no, they would never.
Yeah, I know.
Jeselnik is insane.
I'm actually one of my friends is seeing him tonight in Providence.
Me and my friends from my old job actually saw him live when he came to our area, and he actually shouted me out in the audience crowd work portion. Yeah, he was doing some crowd work, and this Karen basically called him racist because she said there's no black people here, and then I stood up and everyone gave me a standing ovation. And Anthony Jeselnik turned to me and right on cue said, "Oh shit, the mayor of Philadelphia is here." I was crying. He is a funny guy, but holy shit, his jokes are brutal.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites. I would love to see him live.
Remember, he's great live, but remember his Boston Marathon popping joke?
Vaguely.
That was insane.
I do remember it. I just can't remember everything about it.
It was literally within hours of the breaking.
Yes, I do remember that.
That's what's crazy. He was like, "There's some lines we shouldn't cross today, especially the finish line."
Yeah, and listen, I mean that happened
that's an
hour from me. That was my cousin was at that Red Sox game. So there was a moment in time where we're like, all right, where's Keely? What's up? But yeah, man, that
horrible taste. But
I remember he did another joke about that joke where he's a lot of people saying not the time, whatever, but when is there a better time? You know, that seems like the best time.
I mean, I gotta respect the balls.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a show at that point. I mean, this was Twitter back when this was when cancel culture was like a thing. Remember they like
he was very dedicated to the craft. He even dated Amy Schumer.
Yeah, oh yeah, he was all in on the comedy. I can definitely respect someone who does just not give a shit.
Yeah,
it's like this is my style. These are my jokes.
Yeah, I bet I do enjoy going to comedy shows. I've seen Louis Black twice.
You saw Louis Black. I actually saw Louis C.K.
I like Louis C.K. I don't really. I think
before the incident, I saw him.
I saw what the fuck is his name? Anthony. He also got a little canceled. Chris D'Elia.
Oh, Chris D'Elia. Oh yeah,
yeah. We actually got VIP tickets with him, and Becky and I got our picture with him and everything. He was great. He was a nice guy.
I just realized every comedian I've seen live has been canceled at some point. I saw Jezelnik, I saw Louis C.K., I saw Aziz Ansari.
Oh, he did not deserve that.
He definitely did not deserve that.
He was just awkward. We saw Bob Saget.
Oh,
which was great show.
Rest in power.
One of my favorite shows. So Dennis Leary is from Worcester, and one of my very first heroes. I've just always been such a big Dennis Leary fan, and I did get to do go to Comics Come Home one year, and that's his show he does every year for the Cam Neely Foundation and the Dennis Leary Foundation. It's like a charity show he does, and that show had him, Jimmy Fallon, Jim Gaffigan.
Oh, I love Gaffigan.
Mark Maron.
Maron? Oh, Maron was there.
Yeah, and Bobby Kelly.
I know Robert Kelly was there. I know him because I only know Kelly because I used to listen back when I was working at this really shitty warehouse job where it was like an eBay store, but in a physical warehouse.
About before.
And one of the ways to pass the time, because we were literally at a computer, standing at a computer all day.
Yeah,
was I just randomly would just listen to comedy stuff, and I would just leave on YouTube, and I stumbled across the O&A show.
Yeah,
and just ended up binging a bunch of those, and Kelly was always on there. It's very funny.
We also Lenny Clark. Which is basically like Dennis Leary's best friend. He's really funny.
Sounds very Boston.
Yeah, well, that's why we said it that way.
Didn't see Bill Burr. No Bill Burr.
He might have actually been there. It was like almost 10 years ago at this point, so I think actually Bill Burr was there.
God, I wish I was there in the audience when Bill Burr shit on Philadelphia. I
love Bill Burr. He's so good.
Oh, so I as a Philly native, that was amazing. When he mentioned the fact that the city is so racist that they refused to build a Fraser statue and built a Rocky one instead, I was cheering. I didn't care what he said. I was like, this is all true. Whenever someone shits on Philly, I'm like, yep, that's fair.
Yep. It was okay. So, and Craig Ferguson was there.
Oh shit.
So it was
that's a crazy show.
So Dennis Leary, Worcester native, proud masshole, Spider-Man's guilty conscience, and distant cousin of Conan O'Brien. Leary will be joined by Bill Burr, Lenny Clark, Jimmy Fallon, Craig Ferguson, Jim Gaffigan, Mark Maron, and more to be announced. And the more to be announced, I think, was Bobby Kelly.
That is an aggressively white cast.
Well,
which makes sense.
Yeah,
it is Boston.
I mean, most of those people are from the area, though. So, But yeah,
that's an all-star. That's definitely an all-star lineup.
Yeah, that was 2014. And then at the end, the Boston Bruins came out and they did the asshole song. Dennis Leary's asshole song.
Right. I don't care. Yeah, I don't care about the Bruins, but yeah, I just boo them because just boo hockey. Boo.
That is where I got my first and only ever copyright strike.
Really?
Yeah, because I was recording the sets with my phone, and I posted Jim Gaffigan's first. Actually, I think I posted all of them, and then I got a copyright strike from Gaffigan. And apparently he was doing new stuff and didn't want it out there. There's like I never did stuff like this, but I see people do it all the time.
Literally all the time.
And there's like literally a whole like
I did before I started my channel.
Yeah.
I went to a Lupe Fiasco concert and I uploaded part of it because I was recording when he was doing the song. He was in between, he was giving a story.
Yeah.
I think he was telling his story about how he was invited to the White House by Barack Obama, and they told him not to perform his new song "Words I Never Said" because it's a little political, and specifically because it had some negative things to say about Barack Obama's foreign policy. And he proceeded to perform the song 20 times in a row before they kicked him out. No copyright strike.
Yeah, so that's the only reason I did it, and that is the only copyright strike I've ever gotten. So
the only copyright strike I got was for the Spider-Man 2 that when they leaked that the Venom and launch trailer that ended up airing on Monday Night Football. There was that time where it came online and we thought that it was that had been someone had recorded it because it had came on TV,
right?
And everyone did content on it, but it turns out it had actually been leaked early. So they gave certain channels a pass, but they gave me a straight up strike. No warning, no appeal. Just like, oh nope, strike.
Yeah, there was like an email provided, and I tried to like email them, but never heard anything. So it just fell off eventually. But it was annoying. I ended up deleting all the other videos like right away.
Yeah, it was annoying, especially because I saw fucking Blitzwinger had the video up for like literally 24 hours, and it had like tens of thousands of views and nothing. He ended up taking it down voluntarily because another content creator, a friend of ours, gave him a heads up that this was leaked.
Yeah,
and that he should take it down. It was such bullshit. Yeah, strikes are annoying. What'd you get strike for, Lejeune? I know you're a black creator, so you definitely got a strike for some bullshit. It's only a matter of time. They always get us for something. I do my best to avoid it. Like, I'm surprised. Honestly, when I started YouTube, I thought the first strike I would ever get would be from WB because they're very famous for abusing the copyright system for anything. I always hear people who cover DC stuff regularly just complain about getting false copyright claims and strikes from WB. Yeah, strike for a 5-second meme video. That's crazy.
All right. Well, I'm tapping out.
You look dead.
Yeah, I've been walking around so much and traffic, and I'm just tired.
Yeah, well, we give Jay for making it to his union mandated 10 o'clock. Yeah. So you are technically allowed to leave now. So we'll allow it. JayShockblast can get ready to go Betty by, and we thank Casual Avenger for dropping by as well. Thanks for having us here. We had a great show. Thanks for hanging out. We're going to have a lot of stuff to talk about next week.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Suicide Squad season.
I'll take a nap before the episode.
Yeah, Suicide Squad season 1 drops next Thursday. The after show Friday. We'll be doing our post-mortem. Hopefully it's good news and not bad news. But we'll have to see about that. But fingers crossed. But we'll good or bad, we'll give you all the news, and we'll both be streaming the game as well. So be on the
Who
lookout.
knows?
For
Maybe
that.
we'll even have a friend or two
Maybe
stop by and give their thoughts too.
maybe do some collabs. It could be a whole thing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go probably play some more Dragon's Dogma 2 because that game is taking over my life. And he's got some Last Ronin to play, so Rise of Ronin to play. So we'll catch y'all next week. I'm Sadot the Gamer.
I'm Casual Avenger.
Nope, hold up. He was here officially.
Wait, I'm not Casual Avenger.
That's Casual Avenger in a cool down Avenger voice.
All right, JayShockblast. Zip it up, zip it out.
I say that.
Oh,
bigot. Zip it up and zip it out. Peace, my naysayers.